Hello, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to you all in this e-learning program. I hope you remember we are doing the revision of which particular lesson. We are doing the revision of chapter number 6, that is combustion and fuel. In our today's session, try to recall what we did in our previous session. We did about the basic three things which are necessary for combustion to carry out. Which are those three basic things? They are the combustible substance, the ignition temperature, and the supply of fuel. So, these are the three things which are very much essential for the combustion to carry out. What is the meaning of the word combustion? So whenever any substance that catches fire and it starts burning, then it is producing some amount of heat, light, you can say. That is called as the combustion. Try to recall, in the beginning we had just started it with a practical of burning the magnesium. What it was, you saw it very quickly, the magnesium ribbon, it started burning. The magnesium ribbon started burning. With this we conclude that the magnesium is the substance that is catching fire immediately. So in the same way, we discussed about the various substances which are non-combustible also. Then after that, we wind up with how can we control the fire. There are many ways in which the fire can be controlled. In our today's session, we are going to start on with the topic which is the types of combustion. We have already done it, but let's have a quick look at it. If we talk about the types of combustion, then combustion is of two types. That is what you have learnt. It is rapid and slow. Rapid combustion is the combustion that is carrying out very quickly. Yes, when the magnesium ribbon was burned, when the matchstick is burned, very quickly it is catching the fire and it is releasing heat and light. Then next, if we talk about the slow combustion, then in the slow combustion, heat may be produced but light is not produced. Try to think, when the digestion is getting carried out, can we see any kind of flame over here? No, we don't see it. So why? Because it is which type of combustion? Slow combustion. Otherwise, just imagine if that would happen, whenever you complete eating and as soon as your the digestion starts, when it is reaching in the stomach, for stomach it is remaining in for about 3 hours and then it is going to the small intestine, then large intestine. So whole day the stomach glows and glows. If the combustion will always carry, will always produce light. But no, it's not like that, because we cannot see our stomach glowing after eating anything. So that is how you can say that sometimes combustion does not produce light energy. So that type of combustion, what it is called as slow combustion. And the rapid combustion, you are having three examples. The first one is carbon. Whenever carbon is reacting with oxygen, what do you get? You get carbon dioxide and heat and light. Again, when any substance which is containing methane, CH or any of the hydrocarbon, whenever, maybe it methane, ethane, propane, butane, any of the family of the hydrocarbon, let it be any, whenever it is burnt, you are knowing that for burning we need oxygen. So whenever it is burnt, it is producing again carbon dioxide and heat and light. Here it will also produce the vapor. For oxygen and for hydrogen. Try to recall, we have already done this. Next is whenever the magnesium is burning. Again, this we have done practically, that is magnesium. When burns up in presence of oxygen, you get magnesium oxide, the white colored powder. So these are instant. it burns with white dazzling flame. So it is also producing light. So this is how. These are the examples, or you can say the main reactions which are involved in the rapid combustion. Please note down these reactions, then we'll move further. On some different types of, we will enrich our knowledge by discussing about few other types of combustion which are not mentioned in our textbook. Reactions are so important. Now coming to the next part, that is types of combustion, which we have already done, but let's see some more enriched knowledge about it. For that, what you have to do, you have to stay with your mother and then go to the kitchen. Okay, when you are going to the kitchen, keep your mother with you. That is, I'm just saying that, stay with your mother only. Then turn on the gas stove and ignite it with the you can ignite it with the matchstick. So what will you observe? You will observe that the gas will burn rapidly and it will produce heat and light. So this type of combustion, when the heat and light energy is produced, it is called as rapid combustion. Coming to some of the other types of combustion. Substance like phosphorus, when it is burning at room temperature, even at room temperature, it will catch fire. This type of combustion, in which material suddenly bursts into flame without application of any apparent cause, it is called as spontaneous combustion. Okay, many times it is happening. So at room temperature also they will catch fire. So these type of reaction is called as spontaneous, on the spot thai chai badu. Spontaneous combustion of coal dust has resulted into many disastrous fires in the coal mines, and they are sometimes due to the heat of the sun or due to the lightning strike. You are knowing about the Amazon fire that took place. You already know about this kind of fires that have destructed a lot, the lots of forests that are really in the problem. So as a because we are a part of this nature, we need to take care of all the things that are available in nature. You know about how many months the fire took place in Amazon forest. So we need to be careful exactly about some things. Most forest fires, they are caused because of the carelessness of human beings. So it is important to remember that the campfires must be completely extinguished before you are leaving from that particular place. You just go for a visit, and many times, knowingly, unknowingly, we are damaging the mother nature. So at least we should be careful. So whenever you are going for any kind of picnic or for any kind of visit in any of the forest, may it be polo forest that is in Gujarat or anywhere, be careful that don't leave the campfire as it is. Just properly extinguish it and move further. So this is about the spontaneous combustion. Spontaneous means on the spot, very quickly it will start burning. So this is how you can note down this about the spontaneous combustion. Then we'll move further on explosion. Be quick. Coming to the next types of combustion, uh, Diwali. What you are doing in the Diwali? Whenever you are burning the cracker, what you are seeing? You can see light energy, you can see the heat. Means you can observe because everything gets heated up, and even you can hear the sound. So here, sound is also produced, and that type of reaction is called as explosion. So we generally have fireworks on festival days. When the cracker is ignited, a sudden reaction will take place with the evolution of heat, light and sound, and that is called as explosion. It can also occur when the pressure is applied on the cracker. So you have studied about two extra types of combustion today. One was spontaneous, that is on the spot, it quickly occurs, and the next one is the explosion. Okay, so note down these two new points quickly. Then we'll move further on our next particular topic, which is flame. Be quick. The next very important point was regarding the types of combustion. If we talk about the types of combustion, then two more which you have already studied, that is complete combustion and incomplete combustion. Here sufficient amount of oxygen is provided and in output you are getting carbon dioxide. So sufficient amount of oxygen is provided, then it is complete combustion. For example, carbon will react with oxygen, proper amount of oxygen is given, then we get CO2. But if the amount of oxygen is very limited, then in that case we get in the output as carbon monoxide, which is one of the dangerous gases. So only try to recall that when we were doing that lesson coal and petroleum at that time, we had discussed that don't sit near the Agni in a closed pack room. Why? Because if at all the supply of oxygen will be limited, then in that case the harmful gases like carbon monoxide will be produced. So here you are having about it. Incomplete combustion, that is because of the limited supply of oxygen. If we talk about this limited supply of oxygen, then in that case carbon will react with oxygen and it will form carbon monoxide. Here the output is one of the dangerous gases, and this is how you have studied about the basic two types of combustion. Okay, so we came to know today about many types of combustion, the one which was explosion, spontaneous combustion, rapid combustion, slow combustion, and regarding this complete and incomplete combustion. So this is how we complete our topic of combustion, and let's move further on the flame. What is flame? It is the shining zone in which combustible substances is undergoing combustion and it is producing heat and light energy. Flame its structures is generally with respect to the candle, which I already studied, and if we talk about flame, then it is of two types again. Flame, again it is of two types. Coming to the next part, which is flame. Flame is basically categorized into two parts, which is luminous flame and non-luminous flame. Whenever the substance is burning properly and it is producing clean blue flame, then it is coming in the category of non-luminous flame. Here complete combustion is carried out. If we move further on the non-luminous flame, then in non-luminous flame we can see the yellow flame and incomplete combustion is carried out. For example, you are burning a gas burner which is having some holes. Then what will you observe? You will observe the blue flames are coming out of it from the holes. But instead of it, if you are burning a candle, on burning a candle, you will see that it is producing yellow flame. So, what is this? This is the example of luminous and non-luminous flame. Now, let's move further on the next particular topic that we are discussing, which is flame. Coming to the one of the very simple example which is given over here that I talked with you. Observe the LPG flame, it is blue, while observe the color of the candle flame, and you will see that it is different. You are having a very small activity that you can try it out. Hold a glass tube with a pair of tongs and introduce one of the ends into the dark zone of non-flickering candle flame. Dark zone means where you know that no combustion is carrying out. Over there, just try to bring the lighted matchstick near the other end and observe what will you see. See, this is how and what you have to do. Bring the matchstick and what will you see? Bring it near the dark zone and once towards the luminous zone. So here it is, the substance which vaporizes during burning and it gives flames. For example, the kerosene oil and molten wax, they will rise through the wick and they are vaporized during the burning and they form flames. Charcoal will not vaporize and it will not produce flame. Okay, this charcoal will not, the one which is over here, charcoal will not produce the flame. So, this is how we observed about the various zones of the flame, and here it is. What I am talking about, the structure of the flame. If we talk about the structure of the flame, then there are somewhat this way you can observe it. Outer zone totally over here. Here you can see the blue part because complete combustion is getting carried out over here. This outer one, it's blue because complete combustion is carrying out. Then the middle zone over here, the partial combustion gets carried out, which is yellow in color. In between, here you are having black, which depicts that there is no combustion getting carried out over here. Okay. Innermost zone of unburnt wax particles, which is black in color. We have already done about these zones. Outer is the hottest part because it is getting sufficient amount of oxygen. Here it is not getting. Then this is the wax candle and this is the wick. Unspun cotton thread which is burning, and paraffin wax it is generally made up of so that it will vaporize quickly on heating. So this is about the structure of the flame. This diagram is very important and I request you to do it again because this can come in exams regarding the structure of the flame. Please draw the diagram quickly. In the outer zone, the blue flame is observed, which depicts that there is complete combustion. In the middle, there is partial combustion, so the yellow flame is observed. while innermost part it is containing unburnt carbon particles, the wax vapors, and so it appears black in color. And the hottest, moderately hot, and least hot part are also shown. Be quick. Let's move further on the next part, which is the fuel. What is the fuel? So any substance that is burning is called as fuel. So the sources that give heat energy for the domestic or the industrial purpose, like petrol, kerosene, they are called as fuel. Good fuel is, these are the characteristics of an ideal fuel. It is readily available, it is cheap, it burns easily in the air at the moderate rate, produces large amount of heat and energy, does not leave any undesirable substance. These are all the characteristics of an ideal fuel which doesn't exist. All these characteristics you cannot get in one particular type of fuel. So there is no fuel that can be considered as an ideal fuel, because almost all the requirements cannot be fulfilled. If we talk about the types of fuel, then there are three types of fuels, which is solid fuel, liquid fuel, and gaseous fuel. So if the combustible substance is available in the solid state of matter, then we can call it as solid fuel. Some of the examples are coal, wood, charcoal, coke, animal dung, etc. Liquid fuel. If the combustible substance is available in which form? Liquid form. Then we can call it as the liquid fuel. Example, petrol, kerosene, diesel oil, like that. Then next is gaseous fuel. So those substances which are available in the gaseous form to burn, these are called as the gaseous fuels. The examples are coal gas, water gas, producer gas, LPG, CNG. These are all examples of the gaseous fuel. Coming to the next part, which is the characteristics of ideal fuel, which are mentioned over here. We are now depending on the very important part, which is the calorific value. Now what is the calorific value? And you don't need to memorize the whole of the table for that. What is the calorific value? Whenever you are burning any amount of substance, then it is producing heat energy. So the amount of heat energy that is produced when you are burning any particular chemical or any particular fuel, then the amount of heat energy it is producing, that is called as the calorific value. It is generally mentioned in calories per gram or calories per kilogram. Some of the important calorific value that you have to memorize it is 1 kilogram of coke, it is producing 33,000 kilojoules per kilogram, or 33 kilojoule per gram. So that is about it. The next is about the hydrogen, which is 150 kilojoule per gram, which is highest, and the least one of dung cake. So the least, the one which is given in the paragraph, and the highest one, only that you have to memorize. Except that we do not need to memorize anything. Okay, I hope you are clear with it. This all you don't need to learn up or mug up. Burning of fuels, they lead to harmful effects. So yes, you already know about the next particular topic, that is the problems that are occurring because of combustion, that is pollution and pollution related problems. Whenever we are burning the fuels, carbon fuels like wood, coal, petroleum, they are leaving the unburned carbon particles. These fine products, they are the dangerous pollutants that are causing the disease, that is asthma. Incomplete combustion of this fuel, it will give rise to carbon monoxide, and we have already discussed that when it is very dangerous when it is burned in the closed room, and it can even kill the person that is sleeping in the room. So this is one of the very important part which is given over here. The next particular thing is combustion fuels. It is we are knowing that it is releasing along with it carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, ultimately are knowing the amount of carbon dioxide is going on increasing. Every year in the summers the temperature is going on increasing. When the temperatures are increasing this year, 2020, that is we had the less experience of the summer because it was complete lockdown in the month of April and May, but ultimately we were able to feel it. So when the carbon dioxide is going on increasing, it will ultimately impact the whole of the environment. Ultimately the globally the temperature will rise, and it is going to create a havoc. Burning of coal and diesel, it is releasing sulfur dioxide gas, which is extremely suffocating and corrosive gas. Petrol engines will give out the gaseous oxides of nitrogen. Oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, ultimately they form acids, and when they are mixing with the rainwater, it gives acid rain, which is again a dangerous thing for crops as well as for the animals which are living in the water, because ultimately the rainwater will go and mingle up with the ocean waters. So this is how about burning all the substance, it can create a problem. So that is about it. Please note down these 2 points quickly. Note down the next particular 2 points. The next particular part is deforestation and global warming. What is deforestation? That is cutting down or felling down of the trees. Why is it done? Because most of the times we are using, not these days but before days, they were used as a fuel. So most of the time they used to cut it, and now for our advantage is various things. What are the reasons for deforestation and all that we are going to study in chapter number 7. But yes, deforestation is done, and that is ultimately one of the reasons is wood that is used as fuel. So for centuries wood was used as a domestic and industrial fuel. Nowadays we are replacing it with LPG, CNG or many other things. In rural parts of our country people still use it as a fuel. Why they are using it as a fuel? Because it is available very easily for them and available at very low cost. So ultimately they are going to use it. Whenever wood is burnt, it gives lots of smoke which is very harmful for the human beings. It can also cause many respiratory diseases. Also trees provide us with variety of substances, and that's the reason cutting of trees leads to deforestation. It is harmful for the environment. Coming to the next part, which is global warming. You already know that the temperature, as I talked about, the more and more use of carbon dioxide, it is creating a problem. So, global warming means what? It is whenever there is rise in the temperature or you can of the atmosphere of the earth. And what will this lead to now? Ice in the polar regions will start melting. That is one of the problem, and when the ice will melt, ultimately the low-lying area will get submerged. So that is again leads to the rise in the sea level. So there will be floods in the coastal areas, and low-lying areas will get totally submerged. So the use of diesel and petrol as fuels in the automobiles is replaced by CNG, so that harmful amount of substances are not produced. And that is all for the chapter number 6. With this we complete with a quick recap of chapter number 6, and that's all for today's content. I hope you have understood, and if yet any queries you can just contact me anytime. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening to me and have a very good day. That's all. Bye bye.